Welcome back to more Madden 25 here on the channel, and today we're going to be going through 30 NFL drafts, or whatever amount of years they allow you to play in this year's game, to see if we can find the very best, realistically, generational rookie possible. I've already seen some really strong builds and players through the limited amount of drafts that I've done so far, maybe 6 or 7, the majority of that, through the Seahawks rebuild that I posted yesterday. Maybe check it out if you haven't already, but without any further ado, and no more yappage, let's move on and see what kind of rookies we can get up to. I'm hoping to see some Michael Vick build types / Lamar Jackson, and some really fast wide receivers. Everything else is a bonus, but those are the two that I really want to see. I want to see a 99 speed quarterback, damn it. And speaking of things you want to see, if you want to see more content from me, maybe think about subscribing if you end up enjoying the video, which if you do, maybe also think about leaving a like. If you're not new though, I do appreciate your continued support on the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PKR Plays for non-Madden content. And I'm not sure what the rest of today is going to hold. Do I start our offline franchise, our main franchise? We'll see. We'll see. Also, speaking of that Seahawks rebuild, it was kind of weird at the beginning. I think that was the one I said the name of the channel out loud. I wonder if PKR or PKR, would PKR sound cool? The problem with that is that's a Pakistani currency. So, yeah, I'd be fighting with a whole, like country for, like algorithm. I don't think that's a good decision, personally. Maybe I drop that and it's just Jerome. Or maybe I name myself Lion. I give Bengal the ultimate competition. Yeah, right. Now, the way that the board looks in this year's game, it actually might be a little easier than normal to see. I don't know why I did it that way. To see who could be really good. As you can see the combine from here, which allows you to set the whole combine. Now, the question is, will this show all positions? As you can see here, it's only showing like up to left guard because there's so many positions. Would we have to go to defense for that anyways? Will this actually change anything? It kind of doesn't really seem like that is going to be the case, but I will say it is something to note. Normally when we do these, though, we end up kind of just simming the draft and then looking through there. I think that's the best way to do it. Of course, we can also look through this for speed, which didn't... Wow, this guy has no speed. Obviously, it means he skipped the combine, but... yeah, I don't know why that would be considered the fastest. It's like, he's so fast, didn't even move, and he completed it. He had a 0-second 40 time. He's goated. But yeah, it doesn't really seem like there's anyone super insanely great. Stein, maybe, because he's super fast. But let's sim this draft and see if there was any generationals. Here we go, draft recap. This team specifically landed 2 players in the 70 overall range, which is pretty good. Man, I really can't wait to start an offline franchise, or just a franchise in general, and start drafting. It's so much fun. Hell, even College Football 25, even though I'm ass at recruiting, it's so much fun doing that too. But yeah, Josh Meadows, potentially a generational. I gotta be honest with you, there's just a certain look about him that makes me think he's not. I think he's gonna be star. Okay, I'm an idiot. Never mind. X Factor. Woo! X Factor, technically the best player we've seen so far. What about pure speed? Is this actually the fastest player? Like, is it going to go through all positions? It will. So the very fastest player was a 94 overall. The very highest overall was wide receiver Josh Meadows. And you know what? Maybe I misjudged him a little bit. He is actually pretty damn good. 92 speed with insane release, catching, jumping, and size. He's like, honestly, a strong man's Rome Odunze. I've made an error. I accidentally simmed to the draft. But hey, it looks like our own team may have snagged a generational. That juke move, change of direction, and overall might be enough to be generational. It'd be kind of crazy. This team actually got one themselves. It's borderline, and it's not. But hey, he's a really good player. Man, I'm like I said, I don't know if it's just because the game's brand new, but I am actually getting so excited to play an offline franchise, just a franchise in general. Every single one of these rookies I see, I'm like, oh, that'd be fun to develop them. Oh, it'd be fun to develop them. As far as generational goes, this guy looks like one, right? Short accuracy, almost 90, 87 medium. He's an 80 overall. Let's see if we have back-to-back generational players in classes. And we don't. Of course, there still could be an offensive lineman, which is generational. There still could be like a kicker punter, but that's not what we're really looking for. We're looking for the goons, right? Like, these two guys are really good. Maybe one of them's actually an X Factor. Would I really call them generational? Probably not, but they are pretty good. 78 overall, 95 speed, corner, tall. That's a win of a pick. That is a really good player, but even if he was an X Factor, I wouldn't call him generational, technically. I'm looking for the true GOATs of all GOATs. What about speed? No one higher than 95 in general. So draft 2 is technically a lot worse because we didn't get one of those special players. All right, we are back in the scouting process. We could see a 4-2-4 40 time guy with 41 reps, and he's in the first round. He doesn't look really good, I'll be honest with you, but very, very fast. Did I say 41 reps? 41 vertical jump, which is really insane for like a speedy type guy. What about quarterback? It's kind of tough to see these positions. A 4.54 as a UDFA. That's not bad, but it's not like amazing. 40 time for running backs. 4.31, who is 5'9", so that's not really too spectacular. 2.4 40 guys. 4.25 as well. And then 4.27. There's some really good players in here. Once again, they're all like kind of slot type guys, so I can't imagine they're going to be like amazing, but still really, really talented stuff. And you know, that's really where you're going to find like the majority of if somebody is a generational or not. We have a 4.65 40 defensive tackle, which is very interesting. Outside linebacker, middle linebacker. Once again, another guy that's freaking zero. He's so fast. He's gone already. An age 20 corner who's 6'4" with a 4.28. That's, I mean, it's not a generational, but it's still like a really good player, it seems. I'm really curious to see what he looks like. So let's actually look through here. We don't even need to look through the draft at this point. We see a left tackle. That looks like a generational. 3 guys, 80+. One of them is a safety with 95 speed. That would be shocking if he doesn't have X Factor. Yeah, he is an X Factor. That is actually one of the better safeties I've seen in the last couple of Maddens, to be honest. 87 hit power as well. Zone coverage at 80. Pursuit at 86. With that speed, how tall was he, though? Do we know? Wait, was he 23 as well? 22. Where's his height? Height does matter for me, like, judging if he's, you know, one of the best safeties or not that I've seen. And in fairness, he's 5'10". He is still one of the better ones, obviously, but he's not quite there. Some really high overalls here, though, as you can see, you know, a bunch in there. I mean, these are like, you know, these make the real-life class look like crap almost. Welch, I mean, it's pretty obvious this guy's generational. He's a freaking 82 overall, damn it. And he is superstar, which, of course, is generational for offensive lineman, fullback, kicker, punter. What else did we have? We had safety already seen. Running back who's 95 speed. That is pretty spectacular, so we'll take a look at that. And then, is this the corner we were seeing? No, it wasn't. The corner we seen was... Let's actually just look by corners. Probably a lot easier to see. This must have been the corner. 95 speed for 6'4" is crazy. It's another player type that we really haven't had in any of our franchises. The 6'4", 6'5" corner type. Obviously, it's just not like always going to happen. You're going to see maybe one of maybe a couple of those every few drafts. So obviously, it's easy to miss them just because you might not have a chance. And then there's one more player I wanted to look at. It was that running back, Rashad Clement, who is 95 speed. Pretty good trucking. Juke moves 90. This could be generational. He's only star, but I gotta say, so far, easily the best running back we've seen because he's a dual-style guy and he's really fast. So, kind of crazy. The fastest guy we see is a 4.49, but he's a day 3 true talent. Even though he's supposed to go in the first round. I mean, just with that speed alone, that throw power is brutal. I think you would still have to take him. The speed alone tells me that even if he sucks overall-wise, he's going to be a lot of fun and usable. What the hell was his name? Who was he? Oh, it was Mac. He was a 69 overall. Probably going to be star development trait, which is once again why, yeah, I don't always trust the true talent. Like, yes, he's a really low overall, but if you were using a team and you needed a quarterback, would you be mad if this is the guy you drafted? I'd be pretty ecstatic. I think he's kind of like almost similar to Jaden Daniels, really. And then we will look at some of the other players. I like to look in this realm because I can kind of get a feel for, like, you know, okay, that guy's clearly generational. It's because we've seen that rating, you know. But what about wide receiver? Really not seeing a whole lot here. 6'1". Any, like, goated tight ends. 4'5" is not bad. You know what? Maybe it is better to do the other way because now I have to, like, either click over for a different thing. You do see that 40 time, but we see a 40 time of 4.3 for the cornerback. It's just easier straight up just to see the players. Let's go in and take a look at the class itself. All right, so overall-wise, we only have one guy that is 80+. We have another corner that's 95 speed. Kenny Tucker, the running back. We've seen a lot of these types of running backs that are like really good. He is far from what I would consider generational, but ironically enough, watch, he'll be the one guy that actually is higher than star dev. Seen all these running backs that are great. Nope, he is only normal. Seen all these running backs that are great, but they're all like star development, right? I also thought I saw crazy catching for somebody. Who the hell was that? 84 catching. That's not even who I was thinking of, but you can see here, oh, he's a tight end in fairness. I thought he was a corner. Really good catching though, I suppose, but yeah, no real generationals in my opinion here. You technically have the speed type that could be superstar, but yeah, not really our best work. We'll take a look at the middle linebacker because he's an 80 overall. He could be, but as an 87 speed guy, I've seen better. Yeah, he is only star. So we've seen one generational so far, I believe, right? I think, and none of them were really like crazy good, like 96 speed QB or 97 speed 6'4" wide receiver or something like that. Back to another draft. The fastest quarterback is a 4.5 40 guy. Running back, we have a 5'8", 211 with a 4.32, and he's a round 1 projected. Wide receiver, 5'10", wide receiver, 4.35, 6'5", which isn't going to be generational, but still could be really good. And then defensively, it's kind of hard to see if they're going to be 100% generational, but if you got a guy that's like 6'5", 275, and he's got like a 4.4, then, you know, it's pretty obvious at that point. But yeah, from my personal guess, Simpson was really fast there, by the way. I don't imagine there's going to be a generational here. I'm curious to see what that speed of Simpson is, because yes, we know that the 40 time is not fully set in stone. But yeah, I mean, that is one of the fastest middle linebackers I have seen, 92 speed. What overall was that? Jerome Simpson, isn't that the running back? What overall was he? He was kind of low, no? He's 65 overall, but and also no change of direction, in fairness. Let's take a look at those ratings. Yeah, I don't think I should be looking. I think what we should do is look for the generationals first, and then if there's someone that looks really good, then we go and look at the actual like player card to see like, okay, yeah, you can definitely tell. That's the better way to do it. Why am I an idiot? That's what we're doing from now on. 77 overall. I mean, one of these guys could be generational, but once again, we're looking for the guys that are like, oh yeah, that guy's a god. But if one of these guys is superstar X Factor, so be it. Who cares? I'm not really that interested. We've seen better. We're snobs out here. We're draft snobs, all of us. We're looking at these overalls. Strong safety, 92 speed, 79 overall. Could be the generational. Right guard, 78 overall. Usually pretty close for superstar dev, which would be considered. Not going to be the case here, though. Star development traits. So far, not so good. Not really seeing, those insane builds that we're normally used to seeing. High overall, superstar, not quite the X Factor, which would give him that nod. And then the last one I would check, maybe one of these other guys is one of those players. Once again, we're talking about the averages. You're going to need to be at least a 78 plus overall most of the time. And even then, if they're not really fast or really tall, they don't really matter. Hey, hold on. Wait a minute. Have we found something juicer? We have a 6'5", 80 overall. Not the craziest fastest, but 92 speed is still really good. He is only superstar, though. What about that catching? Yeah, he is really good, though. 86 release, 96 jump. He is goated. I'm actually surprised he is an X Factor, but let's take a look at some of those other players. Running back, I don't really see it. Parker, I do kind of see it. I'll be honest with you. I do see it. 79 overall. Offensive lineman. Is he? He is. I think that is considered generational. 79 overall with superstar for a lineman. I think that is what they would consider. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look at his actual ratings. Maybe this will be an even easier way to look. It's kind of hard to tell. It actually is kind of hard to tell. Like, he has some pretty good run block ratings, but some of those base ratings aren't really that great. I don't know. He's good. He's good. That's all we know about that, at least. Quarterback, 6'6", high overall. That is interesting. That's definitely interesting. What about the dev? Star dev. Okay. We are lacking the generationals. I'm going to need EA to put them in, like, quickly. We've got some speedy wide receivers, but that's really all we've got. Nothing insane. Still missing that, 6'4", 97 speed wide receiver. Where are you at? Where are you at? One of our lower overall drafts yet. This edge rusher could be something. He's only 6'1", though. 86 speed. Really good excel. Dev, only star. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. So far, at least. There's still time. But man, it is so far just not been the kind of experience I was hoping for. This is really making me think, like, when we do a franchise, when we're actually using the team, like, what are the odds we're going to find a generational? And, that word is kind of thrown around a lot lately in real life because it sort of is fitting. It always does kind of seem like there's, like, a really, really good player, like, almost every year. Maybe not, like, truly the definition of generational, but the word that EA would use for it, technically, I think is fair. In EA's own words, whenever they change these devs for the rookies, assuming they are, there's going to be several of them in this latest class. Bowers, Marvin Harrison is probably going to be, both would be considered generational in-game. I'd say they're both going to be probably Superstar, maybe even X-Factor, which would be really good for how good they are. But, yeah, so far in this specific scenario where we're simming all this stuff, it's not going so well. Like, just give me one. Just give me a creme. A creme? A crumb. So we do have another middle linebacker. Oh, there's a generational kicker if you want to count it, which I really don't, to be fair. But middle linebacker, 88 speed, a superstar X-Factor. That's got to be generational, right? 80 change of direction with that speed. Yeah, that's definitely generational. He is actually really good. I kind of wanted to write him off because, I like to see the 90-plus speeders. But yeah, this is a really good player. 88 tackle, 84 hit power is pretty good, 77 block shed. I will say his zone coverage is a little low for a guy that I would expect to be, so good. But he is really good, obviously, and I'd agree. What else do we have? We obviously have the kicker, who is likely generational. Why not? Just take a look. He technically counts, damn it. He's a superstar. Kick power, what is it? We've seen all types of players like this, kickers. He has 99 kick power, 78 accuracy. That is very fitting. No one's denying it. Fastest quarterback is 89 speed. Fastest running back is 94 speed. Fastest wide receiver is 99 speed. Tight end, 86 speed. And then the rest, I guess we'll take like a corner. That is a position that, the speed does kind of show up quite a bit. 94 middle linebacker, 93 speed, though. Okay, we'll take a look at his dev, but I also want to see what his 40 time is. 93 speed, 88 excel. That guy is really good. Name is Dale Drew. He's 6'4" as well. Actually didn't get to look at his change direction, but let's see. Dale Drew has a 40 time of 4.31. Wow. That is really insane. That is the highest I've ever seen in Madden. I know he's not generational, but he is such a special build that he deserves to be highlighted. Change direction's a little bit iffy, but a 4.31 is 100% the fastest 40 time I've seen of a middle linebacker, by far, in the last, every Madden ever. Now, this is arguably the worst draft we've seen. A lot of 76s and unders. The only real chance would be the center, and even that, maybe the running back with 91 juke move. We'll look at these two guys. I can't imagine, other than Pitts, there is a single one here, and even then, he's an offensive lineman, and he only has star. So, yeah, not our best work, but maybe there's some speed. This is definitely not one of those drafts that you'd be like, yeah, this is go to pick 8 overall for a running back. I mean, that's usually not something that works. Oh, maybe he is? Would you consider that? 78 overall? Is it just coincidence, or is he actually? 86 change of direction. He's fast, but he's not, otherworldly fast. 91 juke move does kind of give me, yeah, that is special. I don't know. I don't know if I consider that. It's close. It is close, but I don't think so. Ooh, okay, so he's not generational, but this is really cool. This is even better than generational, in my opinion, because he's a third-rounder with 95 speed at quarterback. Normal dev, but I don't think anyone drafting him cares. I mean, sure, it's like, oh, darn, I wish he was higher dev, but that is fun. Like I said, I think that's even better than generational, because that means that we might see these sprinkled out more often. 95 speed. Kind of curious to see what that 40 time actually translates to, though. So we'll end up doing that. Taking a quick look before we sim on to the next one. But yeah, this class is also, in general, ironically enough, besides that quarterback, missing quite a bit of speed. But let's take a look at that quarterback, see what the 40 time is on that man. That's favorites, not what I wanted. Looks like a 4.3. Pretty impressive. 4.3, his ratings are really bad, but yeah, very athletic. Little surprised he actually wasn't star, but yeah, He's a project player, super fun looking. Of course, I accidentally simmed too far again, and we have our highest overall yet, I believe, in David Oliver. Not that there's much to see because he's not that crazy fast, but he is generational because he's really good. 87 catching's unbelievable, 83 man, 82 zone. If he's not X Factor, I would be very surprised. 82 overall, that would be harsh. And harsh it is, but he's still really good. Superstar Dev, my opinion, X Factor is great, but as long as you're Superstar, you're a winner in my book, kid. What else we have? We have an edge rusher, 78 overall. Some pretty high overalls here, so there could be some other ones in here. I don't think I would consider him, so if he was X Factor, I would say it's coincidence. Like, I don't think you have to actually be a generational player to be X Factor, and you can see here he is actually X Factor. I don't think that's how that works, right? Because we've seen some lower overall guys, but maybe in this case he is. I don't know. I've always understood that it is a player that's, like, really good, very high overall, and is an X Factor. Like, this guy looks pretty damn good. 84 finesse would probably qualify, I think. But I'm just used to seeing, like, a really goated attribute, X Factor anyways, though. Damn. Pretty good. 2 X Factor edge rushers. The corner wasn't even X Factor, but he's Superstar. Still technically the best draft class we've seen. I don't think that's really saying too much, is it? Personally, I don't think. What about this guy? Markel Phillips, look with that 99 spec catch, really spectacular. Looking like Mike Evans. Looking like Mike Evans for sure. What's the dev? Star dev. Still really good, though. Super fun looking player. What about the speed? Oh, we can't even look by speed from this. Okay, we'll just look by speed here. Wide receiver, quarterback. Okay, 94 speed. Interesting. All right, so let's take a look at that quarterback. He was a second-round player, only a 64 overall, though. So you can definitely miss. Once again, 94 speed, it's an intangible you can't really get ever without it just being something that's spawned on the player. Really good change of direction, decent juke move. But he has a paranoid sense of pressure. He's 23. His throw power is only 88, and he's got iffy deep and medium accuracy ratings, which... It makes him a tough one, especially that paranoid sense of pressure. He's going to be missing a lot of throws when there's even someone close to him. But once again, I really like these builds. I like these super fast players that are like, oh, because they're fast, normally they're star dev, they're really good, they're automatically good. No, those are project players that could easily just suck. They could easily just never be anything. Do we even care? Some pretty damn good corners, obviously. But for the most part, nobody really standing out here. To my knowledge, like the way I'm looking at it. Juke move from this corner, I suppose. I think he's a corner, right? Man coverage good. I mean, they're good. They're good. Maybe Tyson. I'm going to take a shot in the dark here. He's the highest overall, which isn't really much of a shot in the dark. Superstar Dev. Yeah, I don't think there's any generationals here. It would be cool if you can actually look by Dev. And it's going to be really sucky if I find out late that you actually can. Right, you can. It's okay. So that's only by roster. All that is rounds and undrafted. Wait, you can actually look by undrafted. How come I never look at this? By the way, any good overalls that went undrafted? Wilkins, 6'6" wide receiver. Yeah, that's kind of cool actually, and they can actually look at them before we're even like able to see that. Why does everyone look like they're at a funeral? By the way, can we like? He looked like he actually listened to me. He's like, oh yeah, okay. What do you want from me? It's like. Relax, it's not that serious, my dude. Yeah, I don't think you can look by that, can you? Let's go all the way to the right, see if there's anything for Deb. I think that'd be great. That'd be a nice, cool thing to add. So if I'm doing a video like this, I can do it. I guess to be fair, it'd be very specific, right? Because it's like the only time I ever look at like the ratings is if I'm doing like a specific kind of video like this. All right, here we are with another class, some higher overalls. 81 overall for this wide receiver, Mark Bowden. Do we have anything crazier? 83 stiff arm is definitely interesting. We'd prefer it to be trucking, but that's pretty cool. 96 spec, amazing release. That's generational. That's not generational. Wow. He's really good, though. I wonder what triggers it, because like that looks like a generational player based on some of the things we've seen trend-wise. Really athletic, really good strength for this edge rusher. I actually didn't even see if he was an edge rusher. I just know he's a D-end, and I assumed he's an edge rusher. Looks like one. 82 power move. Dev, only star. Damn, that's a little disappointing. You'd be pretty disappointed with that, but hey, he's really good. It's he's also big. He's like 277 with 85 speed. Really thought that was going to be another one of those generational types. What about this running back? I mean, he could be an X factor, but he doesn't have one of those like blatantly high ratings. What about speedy quarterback? Any of those this time around? Not going to happen. Running back, 94. A couple of them at 94. 3 of them, to be exact. 99 speed wide receiver is going to be, kind of the slot type. Pretty low overall. Tight end, 87 speed. Corner, anyone crazy? You know what? I'm trying to think. Have we ever seen a 99 speed corner before? I think we've seen like a couple that were close, but I don't think we've actually seen 99. A wide receiver named Worthy with a high speed. Where have we seen that before? This offensive lineman is an 80 overall. Not the most athletic player we've ever seen, though. Some pretty good redeeming ratings, especially for pass block. I'd imagine this man is superstar dev. Let's see if he is, and he is, so that definitely counts. What else do we have, though? Still, I'm almost halfway through this, and yet not a single one of those truly goated players. No, like 6'4" wide receiver with 97 speed, or a quarterback that's really strong and fast. Seen a lot of random speedy quarterbacks though, which is cool. But yeah, a little disappointed so far. I'll be honest. Maybe I'm just expecting too much, but I feel let down so far. But there's still time. And, hey, another one of those speedy quarterbacks, which is great. I love seeing this, though. This has been the highlight so far, is speedy quarterbacks in the third and later rounds. We've seen them in the second round, too, as well. But this guy with 94 speed, 89 excel, a little bit of juke moves. Oh, wait a minute. I wasn't paying attention to this. This guy can play receiver. That is actually kind of strange. Okay, I mean, he's actually pretty good as a quarterback as well. I wonder what his overall would be as a wide receiver. Let's put him at that position. Let's see where he is. If I even remember his name, I probably already forgot. He was a 5th rounder, though. Is this him? This is the guy. He's a 69 overall at wide receiver. That is actually really cool. That's cool. I like that. Now, one of the things I will say that is kind of like iffy about that is I don't think they give you all of that information. Now, maybe it's just like you draft the guy because he looks special as an athlete, and then you kind of get that knowledge afterwards. But how would I ever know that that guy could play wide receiver? What's if I just don't need QB at all, and I'm not scouting QB, but I could use a wide receiver? I would never know that guy could play wide receiver because I don't think you can see those ratings. I think if it's a quarterback, you pretty much only see passing and elusiveness ratings, which doesn't really give me an indicator that he can play, a receiving position. We got some pretty high overalls, and technically our very highest overall, an 85 overall punter. Curious to see what these ratings are. He's very average in speed, in fairness. What about the kick power accuracy? I know I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing 90 or 85 overall. Where's the awareness? 66. Yeah, I don't see it. 99 accuracy, but only 92 kick power. We have seen better punters that are not even a fraction of that. Eric Newsom. I like to overlook these kind of quote-unquote slower linebackers. He's still really fast. Great change of direction. And he is generational. So 2 generationals in a row there. Let's see what about the other guys, because there's some pretty good-looking players here even. Page, who is 86 speed, 88 excel. Also, it appears to be generational. Wow, that's 3 generational players now. 86 power move, 81 block shed. This is a spectacular draft. And then we have the tight end, who's 89 speed. He looks pretty good to me. Also generational. Wow. So that is 3 or 4 generational players. 3 if you don't want to count the punter, which I wouldn't blame you, I suppose. The safety, not actually generational, but still superstar. Really good. And then we have the quarterback, Dexter Montague. He is 79 speed, 85 excel. He is a really high overall. Who does have really good throw power. Let's see what his dev is. Does that count? Is that 5 generational players in one draft? I don't even know if you would want to call him generational. Now I kind of want to see the rest, because this class is actually kind of goated. 5 in 1. That is actually kind of wild. What about any catching ratings in there? Usually that's kind of a good indicator as well. 73 catching, not great, but I do like this guy. Haynes. Oh, what about Harbor? He's 6'4". 6'4", 6'3". Those are usually pretty good devs, star devs. So 5 generationals, and there could have been more. It's just the rest aren't really too obvious to me, and I don't really feel like looking at the rest. Let's take a look at the quarterback, see if there's any one of those speeders. There's not. What about running back? Any speedsties? Haven't seen any like 96 speed, like 6-rounders or anything like that, so kind of missing out on that. Wide receivers, nothing insane. The tight end, we obviously seen the generationalness. And then corner, let's take a look at the speed there as well. Should actually be paying attention to middle linebacker as well, because we've seen a 93 speed middle linebacker so far, which is blazing fast. And nothing going. But still, 5 generationals in one draft. That is nice. Another draft, another dollar. 79 overall camp. Not very athletic. But, athletic enough. Super poor man's Andrew Luck. Star Dev, really poor man's Andrew Luck. Looks like Big Ben, though. He looks like a sweaty Big Ben. And then everyone else, I mean, there could be something here, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. What about the quarterbacks? Once again, that's been like my favorite thing to look for is the 94-plus speed quarterbacks later on. Oh, I should be looking at fullback, too. Once if we see like a 90-speed fullback that's like 98 trucking or something crazy. I'm just asking for a lot at this rate, let's be real. But still, you can't deny that that wouldn't be cool. What about the middle linebackers? Well, linebackers in general. 91 speed. Pick 6 overall. I'm curious to see this. 73 overalls can be good dev, too. All right. Change of direction, 78. He looks great. Superstar dev. Is everyone sweaty Big Ben? Is that it? I mean, fair enough, I guess. You know, everyone's got an ideal body type and face that they're after. And peak human existence for men is obviously sweaty Big Ben. And I think the fact that it rhymed just solidifies the factuality of it. 20-year-old, 95 speed cornerback, 78 overall tackle. I'm going to be honest with you. Do we even care? You know what? Unless the offensive lineman's insanely high overall, or he just looks goated because he's like really fast and strong or something, we're not going to care about O-line anymore. Unless we're going for like the most generationals in one like draft class, like we did with that 5-1 we had. Technically 4, the punter, does he really matter? And I know someone's gonna be like, well, technically we didn't actually see the dev. The guy's an 85 overall. If he's not at least superstar dev, I don't know what to tell you. I've seen plenty of those types in the past too. I've seen even ones that are like 88 kick power, 99 accuracy, which is weird. It's like, yeah, I don't know if I agree with you anymore. Your accuracy's great, sure, sweet, cool. But yeah, my dude, you're kind of selling. Did I already look at Stovall? They kind of blend in my mind a little bit. Normal dev, but he's 20. You know the drill. Let's get to them quarterbacks. 90 speed in the 3rd round. Okay, I mean, it's not quite what we're looking for, 94, 95. But we don't hate it. Should be star dev. He is. See a lot of those scrambler types. What about their running back? 94 speed. Have yet to see higher than that, right? I think maybe if we'll actually truly see one of those goated ones, maybe we will. Tight end, haven't seen higher than 89 as well, I don't think. What about the linebackers? Yeah, DT we haven't really shown much love to. Any crazy speedy DTs? An 80 speed at 298 with 85 excel is pretty insane. He's a little raw looking, but he looks great. He looks great because of that speed. Any speed at middle linebacker? A lot of 91s. Yeah, I mean, we are seeing in real life a lot more speedy linebackers. I'm not saying that we're seeing guys as fast as Devin Bush and Devin White, because that class was insane for those two being the 40 times they had, but we're seeing a lot more very close to them than we used to, so it does make sense that we're seeing a lot of those in-game as well. But yeah, one of the worst draft classes we've seen. This is a little bit of a weird one. An 82 overall tight end, but he's only 82 speed. Like, what kind of ratings can you have to boost yourself that much? Just smartness stuff? Trucking's not even that great. Like, if he was, like, 85, 90 trucking, I could see it. Okay, he's really good at catching. His route running's not that great, though. Does he have any other ratings? Not like a quarterback or anything. He's got really good run blocking. I guess that's where that comes from. It's weird. I mean, he's an X factor, but, like, how many people would actually grab him? I really want to see what his actual, like, key ratings are after this. Mellow Black, once again, if he is generational, it's not saying much, because he's only an 88 speed safety. You know, you got to be really spectacular somewhere. You need to be really tall, really strong, really fast. You know, those kind of ratings, like really good at zone coverage, which I guess, to be fair, I didn't actually give him a fair shake. I'm just like, I'm saying these things, and I'm not actually even looking to see if he has any of that. Like, once if he is like 85 zone coverage. Yeah, 80 zone's good. It's good, but it's not like, you know, changing the world level good. Who the hell is this? DT, 77 overall. We got to take a look at that tight end. I want to see if we would actually, like, I'll be honest with you. I want to see if we would actually notice that he is really spectacular or not, or if we would have just went right over him because of his speed or lack thereof. Quarterback, normal dev. He's got some ratings, mainly speed, obviously, but yeah, another guy that has a little bit of speed. You know, a guy that you can work with, I suppose. What about them linebackers? So far, like I said, I'm a little disappointed. We still have time, but it is kind of showing you how, like, rare those really goated players are this year, it feels. You know, normally it's somewhat rare, but this is kind of the rarest we've seen when it comes to, like, generationals that have ratings you just can't get. Let's take a look at the tight end. Would we have noticed him? Obviously, we already know that speed isn't really that good. Key ratings, yeah, we would notice him. I mean, I don't know if I would actually take him because his speed isn't very good. But yeah, the ratings are really good. A medium, A short, A impact, A run block, A catch, A break tackle. It's noticeable, but as a top 5, there's no way I would have taken him, so it's kind of irrelevant. Still seeing some pretty average players. Quarterback is the highest overall in this next or latest draft class. 80 speed's not bad. He's only start of element trait, though. Let's see what else we got for his abilities. 96 throw power. He's a really good quarterback, obviously, but yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Really good throw power, too, to be fair. I mean, he's a really good quarterback. He's just, you know, that's about it. And then the rest, there could be something here, but yeah, the speeds are pretty, you know, normal. 91 to 93 speed, nothing absurd there. A lot of really good corners. It still seems like, you know, the Madden cornerback classes are still really loaded, which I suppose, once again, you look at real life, and there is usually a lot of, like, decently high first and like decently high second corner, so I guess it does make sense. I suppose technically we got another generational player. This didn't go, like I said, so far as I would hope. Look at all the damn corners, though, again. But this is giving you kind of vibes that, like, hey, when you do find one of those like really crazy good generational players, you really lucked out more than you thought. Because we're really not seeing that many so far. Hell, even just like base good players. Look at these quarterbacks. 73, 69. The class is pretty terrible. So, you know, be pretty grateful if you end up with like a really good player for your franchise. Because it seems, you know, maybe tougher than most years to pull that off. But we got ourselves another 93 speed middle linebacker. 66 overall, which is not that good. Really haven't seen much dev with these players, which in fairness makes sense because, you know, the fact that they're fast can be, you know, you could develop them really quickly on your own. But curious to see what that 40 time is for Mr. Elliott. Any crazy fast corners? I mean, sort of, especially since the guy's 6'4". But let's take a look at Elliott. I want to see that 40 time. Can we see higher than a 4.3? That was the highest we've seen. Elliott, wow, 4.36. That's way worse than a 4.3 at the same speed. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to tell exactly how fast you're going to get, but it seems like if they're in the 4.3s, you're at least getting 90 plus, which makes sense. Another generational punter, but we have ourselves a generational offensive lineman. He's a really high overall, so we'll take a look. Should be superstar and is 90 strength, 84 awareness. What about some of these other ratings? 89 pass block power. Yeah, this is more of a generational lineman. You know, pretty much everything in the 80s. It's kind of crazy, though, because a lot of the guys from the latest rookie class in real life were pretty much rated like this in the game. So, assuming those rookie ratings are, devs anyways, are changed this upcoming roster update, we're going to see a lot of superstar linemen, I think, from that class. Unless they're not changing it, which I don't think they've really mentioned one way or the other. I guess because these guys are higher overall, even though, once again, I don't see them as super spectacular. You know, we're going to take a look at their devs. What about the hip power? A really good jumping in fairness. 82 hip power, 83 zones, really good in fairness. X factor. So it looks like we're going to be seeing 2 X factor safeties here. Not guaranteed, but probably. A little bit faster from this guy, so maybe they're going to justify not giving him X factor because of that. What about that jumping? 91 jumping as well. Hip power 81, zone coverage 82. Only star, that is really, really sucky. Like, imagine you want a safety bad, you're at pick, like, 4, you end up with Stamper instead of Ramsey, and you lose that, especially with the height difference. I mean, he is 5 inches taller, which, hey, you know, 5 inches is 5 inches. The rest, there could be someone in there, but, I mean, probably not. Oh, another one. Yes, my favorite. The late draft speedy quarterback. 95 speed, any dev? Still no dev for these guys, though. 95 speed, 90, and everything else pretty much for athleticism. Change directions even, 89. And his throw power is really good. 91 throw power, 82 short. Throw on the run, 70. This guy's good. This guy. What about the other traits, though? Paranoid sense of pressure, though. That is really tough. And I don't think there's a way to actually, like, upgrade that without physically changing it, which usually we do in our, online league. I'll probably do that for the offline league as well, where if your guy makes the Pro Bowl, you get one sense of pressure higher. I think that's the only way to really do it is like, hey, you're a good quarterback because you made the Pro Bowl. I mean, it doesn't really... In real life, that doesn't correlate, but in game, it does. You get Pro Bowl because of, being good statistically. But in real life, like Mitchell Trubisky showed at one point, 45 guys in front of you opt out. It's my time to shine, baby. Ooh, we got ourselves maybe a truly elite generational player with an 82 overall, 97 speed corner, and he's not even generational. He's just star. That's kind of crazy. What are those cornerback ratings looking like, though? 70 hit powers, 83 man, 81 zone coverage, ridiculously fast, and still not even an X factor. That kind of sucks. Running back, 92 speed, 81 overall. Running back is so hit or miss because you can get a really high overall as a running back and still not be considered like the GOAT. What else do we have for some of these ratings in there? Stamina, injury, and toughness also pretty low. Only star as well. I mean, these overalls are ridiculous to not be generational. Wide receiver 6'1". We have a 78 overall quarterback. Usually, this is just going to be a star, a superstar dev quarterback. And yeah, superstar dev. Really good, though. 90 speed. Arguably the best quarterback we've seen. I'm trying to remember back because most of the quarterbacks, they just didn't have much speed. This guy at least has speed, and he's a good overall. Langford, we talked about not looking at the linemen, but these are the guys that, and he's not even superstar. These are the guys that give me the best chance at seeing a generational, but yeah, just a bunch of really good players, just not actually X Factors, which is fine, I suppose. Let's take a look at it if there's any speedy quarterbacks. Other than that one, there was not. Still have yet to see a running back over 94 speed. 99 wide receiver, Barry, not like nothing crazy there. Still haven't seen a 90-plus speed tight end either. And of course, this could all vary. Like, one of you guys could do one singular draft and find a better player than all of the players we've seen. But just, looking at this, it's showing an average, which that average at the highest peak isn't the best. All right, we're back with another draft. We've got ourselves a really good running back class. Two guys that are 94 speed and excel, which is definitely really high up there in speed. Once again, we haven't seen higher than 94 so far for speed. 6'4" wide receiver, only star development traits. He's 23 years old as well. Very good catching. His spec catch is really good. Release, jumping, all that stuff. But yeah, not X Factor and really low injury. So kind of disappointing. There. Quarterback Crosby. How tall was he? Why did I swear I saw 5'8". I might have seen something else. What would 6'3"? Kind of looks like 5'8", I guess. 96 throw power. What was his actual height? Let's actually take a look at... I didn't get to look at his dev. He was 6'6". I guess 5'8" looks kind of like 6'6". I don't know what I'm looking at. He's an X Factor. Is that generational? Probably, technically. 79 overall, really high overall, obviously. 5'8" running back is interesting. Any one of these guys could be generational, so let's take a look. 95 speed probably is. 95 juke move, excuse me. Normal dev, actually. So yeah, you don't know what you're getting this year with running backs. It's just, they could look like absolute goons and just actually not have anything. I thought I saw 99 break tackle. Did I not? Thought I saw 99 break tackle. I swear I did. Is this him? Stephen Jackson? No, that's someone else. But let's take a look at those two really fast running backs. Bro, I swear they just disappear. Like, sometimes I look at players and it changes. Am I crazy? Normal dev for this 94 speeder as well. A lot of potential at running back, but all normal dev, it seems. And then we look at Bradfield, who's a little bit taller. Probably enough for me to choose him over the other guy, but it wouldn't matter because also normal development trait, unfortunately. Some really good players, and dev doesn't, like, completely define the player, obviously. You know, that's why we look at the whole picture. We don't look at just potentials. If I see a guy that has, like, everything's A as a wide receiver, but he has 4.7 speed, if I'm actually using that player, I'm probably not going to grab them. Hell, I'm probably not going to grab them even if it's a rebuild, which, you know, technically the overall probably is the only thing that matters in a rebuild situation. Looking at any special types of builds, not really seeing it. Wait, what about that 6'5 guy? 93 speed. It's good. It's good, but it's not, like, absurd. Linebacker, another 93 speed guy. Also has 90 excel, though, which is probably the fastest we've actually seen. Normally it's 93 speed, 88 excel, like right on the nose. Any higher dev than normal? It's always normal dev, though. But obviously with that highest excel we have ever seen, I'm curious to see what that 40 time looks like. Yates. The guy's name is Yates. Higher than 4.3. Can we see it? Where is it? 4.36. That's not even the guy. Yates is a 4.45 with 93 speed. That would be a hell of a surprise. He's the 4th in 40, 3-cone, and 20-yard shuttle. Yet he has 93 speed, 90 excel. That's why that left side, you see elite speed, it means a lot. It means, I can't believe his excel and agility, or his excel and elite and speed aren't both elite. And that he has a 4th in all the speed rate. I mean, that's just so random. Technically the fastest running back we have seen so far. 94 speed, 95 acceleration. Timmy Allen, who has the juke move of 82. Catching's not really that good. And normal dev. Fastest running back. But yeah, a lot of bad dev players here. Other positions, wide receiver Parham, 89 speed. I probably should be looking at these guys. You know, we are looking for the best of the best, but I'm still curious to see like how many X factors you can see on average. But yeah, not really seeing anything there. Safety, quarterback. We have a 77 overall quarterback, Paul Bradley. Phil Bradley. Okay, same name, clearly. Paul and Phil. Star development trait. All right, time to go back to the quarterback. Well, we've for the most part seen at least like someone halfway decent in speed. I would say halfway is like 90 speed plus, like every other draft. So at least that's semi-common. You can see some pretty fast players for the most part at quarterback. I also haven't really paid attention to like how many of those guys could play like wide receiver, tight end, because once again, we did find one of those, which I thought was really cool. I wonder if every 95 speed, hopefully we find another one. I want to test that if every 95 speed quarterback also could play wide receiver. Oh, we got some really high overalls in this class, but once again, not seeing anyone absurdly good. Miller is pretty solid, though. 95 speed, the dev of Superstar. Still really good, obviously. That's still without a doubt. 76 change of direction, though. 90 agility, 95 speed. Like, how is this even possible? What is that zone? 83 zone, hit power 84. He's really good, though. But, yeah, a little disappointed with that change of direction. They don't want you using him at all. They're like, let him play deep. Don't touch him. Let him be. This guy, I'm thinking star. Yeah, I mean, it's just the same kind of build. 87 juke moves really good, though, in fairness. 87 catch, 93 spec. Some really, really good ratings. Jumping's a little low, but that's fine. He's, you know, really good anyways. Cornerback, 92 speed's great. I mean, these guys, I don't know. It's just something about them where you can kind of just tell that they're star dev. Or X Factor. What am I even talking about? Who even asked? Who even asked me? Like, why did anyone ask? I mean, nobody asked for my opinion, all right? Hutchinson, let's take a look. Decently fast, star development trait. What about that throw power? It's always something in like the high 90s. 98. That is more than high 90. That's like almost 99. That is really insane. What about the other guy? He's a little bit faster, so I'd be honest with you. I'd probably would fall for this dude first. Pause. And we would be right to. He's an X Factor with 85 speed. Some of those ratings are pretty damn good, especially on the run. Is that generational? I don't know. Kind of. Sort of. I almost argue that any high overall player with X Factor is technically generational. But let's take a look at some of the other players. Quarterback. I want to see one more 95 speed guy if I can. Kind of sold with that one. I wanted to see if, like, every one of them can be... I guess you can't really say I sold... Nah, we did, because there was multiple that we could have looked at. I want to see if every single 95 speed quarterback archetype is one that can play wide receiver, tight end, whatever. It's interesting. I don't know, personally, like, would you feel like they're useful at wide receiver? It's a cool story, so maybe I would, but I'd rather just use him at quarterback. Highest overall in this one goes to Hornan. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. 80 overall. Star development trait. 82 speed. So I will say, though, we have seen, for the most part, a lot of high overall like quarterbacks. So for the most part, it seems like you're going to get yourself a pretty decent quarterback in almost every class. What about some of these other players? Nothing really crazy going on there. I guess we'll take a look at Scott, the other quarterback, 79 overall. Last couple 79 overall quarterbacks have been X-Factor, it feels like. And yeah, I mean, it's not like you would know the difference just by scouting on who's 79 or who's 80, but typically if they're 79, that's when you're getting the X-Factor. 78, 79 versus the 80 overalls. Come on, give me one of those quarterbacks. I need a 95 speeder. I need to test it, man. I need to see if they're all, I mean, it doesn't prove they're all, wide receiver types or could play wide receiver, but I'm still interested. I also wonder if there's other players like that can be like that. But once again, how would you ever know? Oh, wow. This is by far the worst class we have seen. 77 overall is the highest. Speed-wise, you do have another one of those couple of speedy wide receivers. Not seeing a speedy quarterback again. All of a sudden, I'm on to them. I wanted to see if there's multiple of those guys that can play a bunch of different positions. And they're like, nah. You're never seeing it again. I will say, this guy's juke move's a bit high for someone with 90 speed, so let's see if he can play it. He can't. Still looks great, though. Star Dev. Definitely a much better draft class afterwards. 92 juke move. High juke move means there's a chance that he's generational, so let's see it. And he is. X-Factor, 93 speed, 93 excel. He's got some trucking. Obviously, can juke. Catching's not the best, I will admit, but very good running back. Very good running back. Debatably the best we've seen. I mean, there was another one that was very similar to him, so I can't really remember. But Clement's a 5'11 wide receiver now, who has pretty good speed, 93 speed. Juke move's okay. I'd like a little higher than that for somebody that's kind of on the smaller side. Also, X-Factor. Maybe giving ourselves a run for our money with that 5 X-Factor. I highly doubt that's going to happen. 5 X-Factor draft we had. Pretty fast here. Only star, and that's probably going to cut that off short. There could be one more that's X-Factor, but 77 overall is pretty low to be expecting it. Speed, only 87 is the highest for quarterback. Running back, 94. Wide receiver, 96 is the highest, but even then, you're usually seeing someone that's really, really fast in every single class. What about linebacker? No. 91 speed for that fella. 88 speed for him. And yeah, I mean, the top-end players are pretty good, but speed in general also kind of lacking in that class. Okay, so this is a weird one. This guy's an 83 overall strong safety, but he's only 84 speed. He's not even that big, so playing linebacker doesn't seem to make sense, but he's an X-Factor. Unless he's got really good block shed. Where's the block shedding? 67 block shed. I mean, what do you do with this? 95 hit power is kind of insane, though. Like, you just got like yourself a really undersized linebacker, because I don't really see where else you would use him. Great change of direction, so he'd be pretty damn good as a linebacker, I suppose, but yeah, that's probably the weirdest player we've seen yet so far. 82 overall for this safety. Let's take a look at his dev. Only star. Once again, I would argue that this guy's better, because speed is king in, well, really like most sports games in general, let alone football ones. And we have a running back, the fastest we have seen as well, 95 speed and acceleration. Only star dev, though, but the fastest we have seen, of course. Really good juke move. Trucking, you could develop him as a power back if you really wanted to. He's pretty good. Pretty good. Not an X-Factor, but pretty damn good. What else do we have? Cornerback, 81 overall. I mean, these guys are really high overall. This is one of the highest overall classes we have seen by a good bit. And he is an X-Factor. Okay, I mean, that's a generational. Definitely a generational. We've seen 2 generationals. Did I look at... Yeah, okay, we looked at him already. Wide receiver, 6'4", wide receiver, 6'5". Yeah, these are some pretty damn high overalls in this class. 90 speed, star development trait. What's the next guy we had? Mr. Stoudemire, Greg Stoudemire, 6'5", so 1 inch taller. Normal development rate. Man, some of these devs are just brutal. They're ruthless. I'm really curious to see the speed, though. Yes! Here it is. 95 speed. Let's find out. Is this guy a catching type? So it does seem, I mean, it's not guaranteed, and this guy is a bit more raw than the other one we've seen, but it does seem like every 95 speed quarterback is built to play multiple positions. You can see 74 carrying, 89 ball carrier vision. Definitely could play running back as well. I would even argue probably better as a running back than a wide receiver. But what overall was he? Let's take a look at what his overall would be at different positions. So he's a 67 overall quarterback, which I would still argue he's probably best suited there because that athleticism is just off the charts. And as a running back, he's a 72. So he goes up 5 overalls at running back. And then at wide receiver, he is a 69 overall. So it goes up 2 overalls from quarterback at wide receiver. Let's take a look at tight end. I didn't actually check to see maybe if you could play corner. Did he have corner ratings? Of course, not very good as a tight end, but still usable. Let's take a look at his cornerback ratings. I didn't actually pay attention to that. It'd be kind of crazy if he could. Nope, he can't. Okay, so that quarterback archetype is wide receiver / corner, or running back anyways. And unfortunately, that was actually going to be the last draft we will be doing. A little disappointed we didn't see a singular, I keep calling him Michael Vick type, but that's who I think of. I can't say Lamar Jackson because the types we're used to seeing are 95, 96 speed, which, yes, and the Lamar Jackson's like that kind of speed, but they have like 97 throw power, which is more Michael Vick aligned. And then we didn't see any of the kind of Randy Moss builds where they're 6'4" with 97 speed. Really disappointed to not see those guys, but once again, we talked about it, whatever 30 drafts we just did, you out there playing right now could see one of those players in like the next draft or two. So it wouldn't surprise me if they still exist. And for us to really be able to see that, we easily could by maxing out the strength sliders, assuming, once again, that is something you could do. And there it is. I think that's going to be the next one we do. Maybe even we do it tomorrow or something like that. We'll see. But you can see you can put it on very strong. And I'd imagine when you do that, you definitely improve your chances. I want to do regular first, though, because it would feel pretty crappy to go to very strong as the starting point and then going into the regular classes. I feel like every class sucks, whereas if we go from this to very strong, we could see some busted players. Now, if we do this, we're going to see a lot more generationals, obviously, right? We're going to see a lot more X Factors. So that one, we would definitely be only looking for the very specific goons, like the guys that are really tall with speed or really strong, those kind of ratings. So you would see maybe even less specific players than we did in this one. But the one thing we did see a lot of is the speed quarterback, running back, wide receiver archetype, which I think is really fun. I'm hoping we can land one of those players ourselves. It'd be a tough decision on what I would want to do. Let me know what you guys would do. Obviously, I think it also matters what your team looks like, but we're definitely going to be looking, keeping a lookout for those types of players a lot, especially in an actual like user playing the franchise setting. I think quarterback, they play pretty well. 88 throw power is decent enough. 95 speed's ridiculous. But if you already have that quarterback, a 95 speed running back or wide receiver works out really fine too. And they usually had height, right? I think it's another thing I just completely forgot to look at. But yep, that's pretty much going to be it for this one. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate getting support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PKR Plays for non-Madden content. We'll have something a little later today. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe even Raging Cajuns franchise. I'm not even, like I said, I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do just yet. I think for our main Madden franchise, it might be tomorrow. I was debating on if I want to do it today, tomorrow. Want to wait for potential rookie changes. I can always just edit the devs according to what EA has anyways, so it doesn't really matter too much if they do decide to change some devs. But let me know what you guys thought of this, and if you want to see that very strong version of this with the draft classes, that'll probably be the next thing we do. If there's any other experiments or kind of questions you've had for the game, you're like, I wonder if a 99 speed fullback is way better than a 60 speed fullback. I mean, something really random, obscure. let me know in the comment section below. Maybe we'll have it and we'll feature your comment. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video, which there should be another one or two today. But until next video, see